Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds, who has, through His mercy and kindness, alhamdulillah, He has blessed us with this piece of Kiswa, which has been used inside the Kabah. Alhamdulillah, we are very pleased and humble to accept something like this. So this particular color, this particular green, has been used in two places. The first place this color has been used is inside the hujrah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the second place this color has been used is inside the Kaaba. This particular piece has been used inside the Kaaba, and if you've had a look online, you can see the inscription, the writing on the Kiswa, and this particular one will talk you through the writing, and will show you how to identify authentic Kiswa. So, some history about this piece was purchased from the Middle East, from experts in this field, within the relics field, and collectors of religious items like Kiswa, Ottoman pieces, Saudi period pieces as well, and they also deal with items that have been used by the royal family of Saudi Arabia as well. So it has come from a very, very strong and reliable source. Now, you can see, we'll start off with the writing. So it reads, Ya Hannan, we're at the top of the Kiswa. Okay, and this particular piece, just to show you, was manufactured using a hand-operated machine. In Arabic they call it Nol. And you have the pattern once, twice, and 3 times. Okay, so the pattern is repeated 3 times horizontally. And I'm just going to pull it over. So the Kiswa reads, Ya Hannan. Kiswa which has been used on the Kaaba or inside the Kaaba, they tend to have ayat of the Quran and praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So first we have here, which reads, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبَلَةً تَرَضَاهَا فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. We have here, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And on the final section, we have Inna awwala baytin wudi'a lin-nasi lalladhi bi Bakkata mubarakan wa hudan lil alamin. So we have ayat from the Quran and the kalima. We have Ya Mannan written here, and we have Dhul Jalal wal Ikram at the bottom. So in terms of the Kiswa itself, the green thread, just to show you close up the weaving, and I'll also show you the backing as well. The green fabric is actually made from silk, so it's 100% pure silk. The white fabric is made from cotton. This particular piece was used in around 1996 when Saudi Arabia renewed the Kaaba. That's when they reconstructed part of the walls, and they reconstructed the roof, And during this period, this particular piece was used in the Kaaba, hung from the ceiling to cover the front door. As the doors may have been removed or may have been opened during that time to allow workers to come in and out of the Kaaba, this piece was used as a covering to sort of conceal the opening. So this particular piece was only used for 2 weeks. According to the information we have been given, it was used for 2 weeks inside the Kaaba as a curtain to cover, to conceal the entrance. Okay, that's this particular piece. There are obviously other pieces similar to this that have been used for a long period of time inside the Kaaba. They are much more expensive in terms of the price and the cost. And it's very, very difficult to find. I mean, something like this, you can see in this size is very, very hard to find and also very, very expensive. Alhamdulillah, it's an authentic Kiswa, and it has been used, so it has the barakah of being used inside the Kaaba. So alhamdulillah, there is nothing else we can ask for. So talking about the threads, you have the green, which is silk, the white is cotton. And just to show you, so this is the edge of the Kiswa. You can see just closely, if I show you the threads, you can see the green thread here. Silk is quite fine, quite thin. Okay, and then you can see the white cotton, which is a lot more stronger. And one of the reasons why they used silk and cotton is to strengthen the Kiswa. Because purely using silk, obviously this was made for the Kaaba to be used for a long period of time. That's the purpose of the Kiswa, and they decided to strengthen the Kiswa by using cotton. Also, you can see how it's weaved at the back. The cotton goes across horizontally, and the green is mainly part of the writing. Okay, so again, just to show you close up in terms of the writing, so you have here the La ilaha illallah. You can see how the weaving is made. It's more like a crossover of the white and the green. The writing is mainly white. There are small amounts of green in between. So that's something to remember. You can see how the weaving goes across diagonally. Okay, you can see the weaving is across diagonally. And that's quite throughout. You can see here. You can see over here. The white fabric is running down, sloping down from left to right, going across diagonally. One of the key features now, when you see replica Kiswa, it's very difficult to know what's actually genuine and what's not. So we would advise anyone who's actually purchasing Kiswa of the Kaaba, which they claim to be internal, is you have to check the threads. Obviously there are several methods you can use. You can use the bleach method, you can use the flame test method, or you can send it to a lab and they will inspect the fabric and give you the outcome of how it's made up. So there's 3 common methods to use. You have obviously the burn test is the invasive method, should we say. The bleach test is the non-invasive method, and the least invasive from them all is the scientific test through microscope, and that will tell you how the Kiswa is made up. You can feel the silk, it's very, very smooth. That's obviously one of the qualities of silk. It's very, very soft, and just running my hand over this area, which is very smooth. The moment you can hear, because of the cotton is a bit more of a stronger fabric, and you can hear even running my fingers here, quite smooth, because it's a lot more rough. Okay, and you can feel the cotton, you can feel it smooth, and you move your finger over the cotton, you can feel the weaving of the cotton. Okay, much more of a stronger, harder fabric. So this is the Kiswa, and if we turn over, one of the key ways to identify an authentic Kiswa is you must see the edging and the backing. And the challenge with that is most people when they purchase a kiswa, they will only buy a small piece. It's very difficult to tell from a small piece. Still possible, but it would be better to see the edging and the back. Anyway, because this is handmade, if you ever have a chance, go and visit the Kiswa factory in Mecca, and they have a model of this Kiswa, and it's sitting on a hand-operated machine, a knoll. And you can see, if you look closely at the edge of the fabric, you will see the finish is like this. This is the edging. Okay, usually there's some gap between the writing and the final edge. You can see roughly maybe around an inch. And you can see the edging here like this. This, when it has small loops around the edge, you can see here. When it has small loops around the edge, this is a sign of the original Kiswa. Have a look online. Whoever you are purchasing from, ask them, can I see the picture of the full piece? If you can't see the edges like this, then most probably it is not an original piece. Again, don't take my word for it. Go and visit the Kiswa factory and you will see yourself. The finishing has to be like this because this is not machine made, it is a handmade Kiswa under operated machinery. Again, if you have a look at this Kiswa, it's not perfect. You can see there are some imperfections because it's not made by machine. Okay, you can see some imperfections. This is quite normal. It's obviously a Saudi period Kiswa. It's one of the later period Kiswas that are handmade, so the quality will be better than the Ottoman pieces. But again, just to identify, if you're looking for a Kiswa, then look at the back. You can see the backing is white. The background is white. The writing is still green. Okay, the writing is green at the back. Look at this. This is unique. The back is white. The background is white. The writing is green. Turn over. The writing is white. The writing is green. The background here is green and the background here is white. When you look closely, majority of the background is white. There are elements of green. There is a hint of green, but most of the background, it is mainly white. If I'm looking at this color, it's a white majority. Okay, this, if you look closely, completely green. Look at this, completely green, completely. This is white and it's interweaved with green. Okay, this is completely green. This is what you need to look for. The writing has to be 100% solid green and the background mainly white, interweaved with the green. And have a look at the edging. It must be finished like this. Okay. We'll show you the Kiswa from the back. Overall, apologies, it's Maghrib becomes quite early, so it becomes a bit difficult to try and squeeze time in for this, but maybe you can see there is somewhat reflection. So excuse the reflection. You can see can you see the color here happening? This is the reflection from the light. You know, as you move, if I turn around, you can see the light is reflecting on the white cotton. It's quite shiny. This is quite shiny. Okay, you can see it's quite clean because it has not been used for it's only been used for a short period of time. It's still quite clean. I mean, it's an internal Kiswa, not going to get very dirty anyway, but over time the color would naturally fade. The color will fade. Something like this is a very clean, strong color. because it has not been used for a long period of time. Okay, so this is the Kiswa. Again, just to show you, normally when they make by machine, the edges are very clean, the finishing. This, you can see it's been cut with a scissor, and the threads they keep coming loose. Okay, this is obviously the manufacture. This is the original finish on the edges. When you're looking for the Kiswa, make sure the pattern is repeated 1, 2, 3 times. You see, there's people online. The width of the Kiswa is 3, 4, 5 meters. The Kiswa was never made to be this wide. They make it in lengths. Okay, it will go up 10, 15 meters in length. It will only be, this is around 76, I believe. I'll have to double check the size, but the size it's less than a meter, the width. Okay, you can see it's maybe around 70 or 80 centimeter wide, something around this. Again, you can see there are imperfections to the Kiswa. This is handmade, not machine made. You can see the bottom as well. Again, this is the original way it's manufactured. Again, cut. You can see this has been cut with a scissor. You can see the loose threads here. I've taken some threads out because somebody wanted some threads, so I've taken some out. You can see the finish. This is not a perfect product. Look at it. It's not absolutely not a perfect product. You see the ones they sell these days online? They are all perfect products. And that raises doubts for me in the authenticity of the Kiswa. But it's just something I wanted to share. Something like this, because it's rare, it's taken a long time for us to have something with the original edging on both sides, a full width piece. Unfortunately, this will not be available. This we are going to keep, and inshallah share it and loan it to masajid that want to show it to their local community. Something like this we are not going to make available for anyone to purchase. Very difficult to find. Unless we find another one, then inshallah we may consider offering it to you. But for now, this is something that will not be available to purchase. So alhamdulillah, I hope you've appreciate seeing something like this in person, and hopefully you can take some of the tips that I've given you about the edges, about the made up white cotton, green silk. You can see the writing and how the Kiswa is formed from the front, and how you can tell from the edges and the backing, inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.